You were listening to the You Gotta Laugh podcast with your boy Edgar Robledo.
Turn it up, turn it up, turn it up.
There's a moment no one warns you about. The lights go out, the mind loosens its grip, and something ancient steps forward, not to entertain you, but to show you what you've been avoiding. Tonight, we sit with someone who answered that call, who drank the medicine, faced the silence, and came back changed. This is not a story about a psychedelic journey. It's a story about surrender, intention, and what happens when you meet yourself without defenses. Welcome to Mother Ayahuasca. Yuna, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Let's jump right into it. When and how did you first hear about ayahuasca? And when did you first hear about psilocybin?
The first time I heard about ayahuasca was in 2019, I think. After a little research that I did, because I had a surgery that I went on a trip and I couldn't explain a lot of things that happened there. And I wanted to, find some answers for that kind of trip that I have. I think it was something that activated also the DMT. Sometimes the anesthesia can do that. Well, I went on a trip. I had some answers that I didn't like. And I started searching. I was going to do it in that summer of 2019 for the first time. I found someone who was in like a group that was doing it in Phoenix, but I couldn't do it because I was going through a lot of changes that year. And then, the pandemic went by. And in 2022 is when I heard they were doing it in my hometown, and that's when I decided to go. But in those years, I was just also always researching, for more information, because sometimes if you watch just the video one, you get scared and you're not gonna want to do it. So I had so many videos that I look at just to find out what was their opinions, and that's it. And about psilocybin, I think I heard before, but I didn't ask any question. It wasn't in my radar, if we can say that, until I did I think the fifth ayahuasca, and they offer the psilocybin. They're called Niños Santos, is called in English, holy kids, or holy children.
Holy children, okay.
Yes, that's the one that I took that the first time, and I did like them also. So that's the first time I heard of. That was this year, in April, of the psilocybin. Yes.
Was which year?
I think it was last year. The 20 in April of 25.
25. Okay, and then ayahuasca was 2020.
Ayahuasca 2019. I'm sorry, 2019.
Gotcha. Now, did you know anybody, like relatives or friends or whatever, that had heard about ayahuasca?
No, nobody. Nobody that I know. No.
And how about the psilocybin?
Yes, I started hearing about psilocybin because when I did my trip, people would ask me, "Oh, it was probably the mushrooms that you did," and I'm like, "No, that's something different. There weren't mushrooms." And so it was kind of that period when I started finding out about psilocybin, but I never thought of trying them, until they offer it, and I said yes, and it did work. I think they help a lot.
Gotcha. Okay, so you didn't know anybody that knew anything about ayahuasca, but more people knew about psilocybins.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Interesting.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, I say the same thing. I talk to a lot of people. I've done the mescaline, which is, the mind-altering substance. And
What is that?
A lot of
A mushroom?
It was no, it came from the cactus, actually.
Oh, I heard that.
What
is the name of that?
Mescaline.
Okay.
Yeah, I did one podcast with Dougie Fresh from Jacksonville, and it was called Me, Myself, and Mescaline. And we talked about, and we broke down when we did them, because We did them
You actually
together.
did it? You did it?
Yeah,
What
I
year
did
was
it.
that?
This was 1987.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, it was
My goodness.
1987. Yeah, and I remember it. I remember it, and we broke it down on there about the three stages that we went through that I remember. The first was the funny, then two
Mm-hmm.
was the kind of what do you call it? Like hallucinating, nothing wild, but like my rug was kind of like waving like the ocean, and
Uh-huh.
my dresser seems like it was breathing. It got longer and shorter,
Mm-hmm.
and then after a while, I just got quiet. And Dougie was the one that said, "You know what happened? You went inside of yourself. You went in your head,
Oh,
or
uh-huh.
whatever you did, whatever."
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "Wow, you know what? You're right about that." And I think it went around unlocking doors in the mind that maybe I wasn't supposed to open, or we're not supposed to open, or maybe we are supposed to open. Nobody really knows. But
Yeah.
it changed the way I thought. I tell people that,
In what
like
way? In what way?
I don't know. I think a lot of ways that a lot of people don't think, and what could I attribute that
Mm,
to?
okay.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I
Okay.
just know something was different about when I did the mescaline, the cactus
You start
derivative,
you
basically.
start knowing
You know,
things that
say it again.
that you didn't know. You start knowing things that you didn't know before. That's what you're trying to say, right? Kind of that.
Yeah,
That
it's what it
happens to
seems
me
like.
too. Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, it's kind of what it seems like. I don't know.
That happens to me. Is like you put like the puzzle. You put it more like you find more
Together,
pieces
more
of the
pieces.
puzzle. Yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
In your mind.
It's funny. No, you're
In
right
your
though.
mind.
But it gives you. It seemed like it gave me like a hint to look over there, or the piece is over here now. Instead of just walking by the piece.
Wow,
It's
that's
it's
interesting.
strange,
Yes,
strange.
that's what psilocybin gave me. Yes. Yeah, it is.
Oh,
It is.
okay, okay. So it was 2019 with the ayahuasca, 2025 with the psilocybin. Gotcha. Okay.
Hmm. Hmm.
After hearing about the ayahuasca, um,
Hmm.
when did you first start thinking about participating in whatever? And when did you learn about a retreat? Not when you did it, but
Immediately,
when
immediately when
really.
I had that surgery that I went on a trip that was in February. By March, I was trying to figure it out. What was that? I remember I told my brother I was really impressed, and he's the one who mentioned maybe you should do ayahuasca. Or he mentioned also the sapo, which is the
The toad.
no, it's the
No,
bufo alvarius. It's called. It's from
but
Sonora.
you
It's
smoked that one though, right?
yes, you smoke that. It's from
Yeah,
a sapo. How do you say sapo in English?
the
One thing.
frog. Yeah, that's
The
why I said the
frog
frog.
is from
Right,
a frog. Yeah, it's
the
the
toad.
venom.
It's
It's
actually
something
the.
they collect and then they dry it and then you smoke it. So he was mentioning me that, and I'm like, no, I don't think I need that. I want to do the ayahuasca. It always called me, the ayahuasca always called me. So I always was. I even researched retreat in Costa Rica, but it was like $6,000 or $5,000. I'm like, I would never be able to afford it. And then going out of your country and that time 2019, it was a little scary because
Mhm.
I don't think we traveled that much before, but it wasn't that familiar. It wouldn't be that